Welcome to a new video. Kelsey Mitchell had just poured in 24 points while running the offense out of position. And the Fever had clawed back from 17 down without Caitlin Clark. Plus, both Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald all sidelined. They still had the game in their hand. Then on one final possession, it slipped away. A questionable shot choice, no timeout, and controversial late calls. The coach would publicly question afterward. We'll reveal what Aliyah said post-game. Short, blunt, and right at the heart of why this stings. First, you need to understand how they got here.
Comment
down below what you think of this tough loss. Let's go. How do you run an offense when your entire point guard depth chart disappears overnight? For Indiana, this wasn't a hypothetical. They were living it just a few days before the Dallas matchup. In a brutal sequence during the Phoenix game, Sydney Colson tore her left ACL and Ari McDonald fractured a bone in her right foot. Both injuries were season-ending. In one night, the Fever lost two floor generals who were supposed to dictate pace, control possessions, and keep the offense organized, with Caitlin Clark already out since July with a groin injury that left Indiana without their top 3 point guards for the first time all season. No regular ball handlers, no one to absorb Foulard pressure, no one to run the sets exactly as this roster was built to play. The ripple effect was immediate. Without a true facilitator to steady possessions, defensive pressure became harder to break. Turnovers piled up and clean. Entry passes turned into contested scrambles. Against Dallas, those gaps became glaring. 17 turnovers converted by the wings into 27 points. That's over a quarter of Dallas's offense coming directly from Indiana mistakes before. The Fever even had a chance to get into their half-court looks. Every possession took more energy. Every pass carried more risk and a margin for error already. Finn shrunk to nothing to even field a functioning rotation. The front office made an emergency move, signing veteran Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract. Her arrival came with barely a
day
to familiarize herself with the playbook or build chemistry. Thrust onto the court, debut against Dallas.
She
played 13 minutes, finished scoreless with 2 assists and 1 turnover, and spent much of her time trying to read where teammates wanted the ball rather than playing instinctively. That left Indiana with one realistic option to handle the ball on nearly every trip. Shift Kelsey Mitchell out of her natural scores lane and into the lead guard spot. The coaching staff didn't have the luxury of easing her into it. Every inbound, every set, and the constant defensive attention all landed squarely on her. It wasn't just an X's and O's adjustment. It changed the physical demands of her game. She had to initiate possessions under constant pressure while still carrying the expectation to deliver as the primary scoring threat. Dallas game became a snapshot of just how much those injuries dictated the flow with a patched-together backcourt. Every made basket took grinding effort. Every turnover opened the door for an opponent run. And yet, even in that weakened state, they were right there at the finish because the player tasked with the heaviest lift refused to let the game slip without a fight. For Indiana, that weight fell squarely on Kelsey Mitchell, known as their most dangerous pure scorer. She was suddenly responsible for running the offense from start to finish. Normally, she's catching the ball in scoring position, not dribbling it up through traps or orchestrating half-court sets, but without Colson, McDonald, or Clark, she was the only realistic option to initiate, and Dallas knew it. On paper, her stat line was impressive. 24 points on 7 of 15 shooting for 7 from 3 and 6 rebounds. In reality, those numbers came with nearly every possession starting in her hands against schemes designed to sap her energy. Dallas sent extra help in the backcourt, using traps and quick doubles to make every advance up the floor battle. Like this video and subscribe this channel. Thank you.